Students from Holton Arms, Woodgrove, Parkview. Meet today on It's Academic. Hello, everybody. I'm Hillary Howard, and welcome to It's Academic, the world's longest-running TV quiz show produced by Altman Productions in association with David M. Rubenstein Productions.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following. MITRE, a not-for-profit research and development company working in the public interest.
What happens when the right people connect? Diversity challenges convention. Mentors inspire greatness. And passions drive innovation. From health to transportation and national security, cyber and AI, to space and back, MITRE connects the power of government, academia, and industry to meet our nation's challenges. Together, MITRE connects.
All right, we begin this, as we always do, with a fast start where questions are worth 10 points up or down. The first team to buzz in gets to answer. The students do not see what you do on the screens at home. Here we go. Glasses on. Geology 101. Exploring outer space is fine, but let's see what you know about the Earth. Please identify the following. This very salty Middle East Sea is the lowest point on Holton Arms.
Dead Sea?
Dead Sea is right. The Earth's outer shell and the outer edge on a slice of bread. Holton. Crust is right. This Norwegian term refers to narrow inlets of the sea. Holton.
Fjord?
Yeah. On the Earth's surface, this is the point directly above the focus of an earthquake. Parkview.
Fault line?
Epicenter. This river carved out the Grand Canyon. Holton.
Colorado?
Yeah. Stresses in this fault caused the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Woodgrove.
San Andreas.
You've got it. This is the deepest trench in the Pacific. Holton.
Okay, Pacific is in there.
Answer in 3, 2, 1.
Mariana?
Yeah, just under the wire. You got it. The Mariana Trench. Nice job. That's our fast start round. Let's recap the scores. 150 Holton Arms, 110 for Woodgrove, and 90 points for Parkview. Before we dive into the next round, which is mix and match, I think it's a good thing to learn about you guys. So we begin with Holton Arms from Washington, D.C. Tell us about yourselves, guys.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm a 17-year-old senior, and I'm not practicing It's Academic. You can find me in our softball field.
Beautiful. And tell us about yourself, Caroline.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm a 17-year-old senior, and I help to organize service projects for my church's youth group.
Beautiful. And finally, Claire.
Hi, I'm Claire. I'm a 17-year-old junior, and I spend my time in the theater.
All right, guys, in this round, questions are worth 20 points, nothing off for a wrong answer, so that's always a good thing. Here we go. Omaha log entry. See if you can find hidden in this phrase what group of chemical elements that includes fluorine and chlorine.
Halogen?
Yeah. Scrupulous, hopeful, meticulous, hostile. Of these 4 words, which 2 are best paired as synonyms?
Yes. Scrupulous and meticulous?
You've got it. John blank, blank v. Board of Education. What same name fits in both blanks to name the abolitionist who attacked Harper's Ferry and the 1954 Supreme Court decision banning segregation in public schools?
Brown.
Brown is right. Lake Huron, Lake Superior, Lake Erie. Which of these Great Lakes was the site of Oliver Hazard Perry's naval victory in the War of 1812?
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie it is. Never pay attention to what the critics say. This advice is from Jan Sibelius, a renowned composer from what Nordic country whose capital is Helsinki?
Finland.
Finland it is. Nice job, Holton Arms. 250 points. And now, of course, we get to meet the team from Purcellville, Virginia, Woodgrove High School. Hello, William.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself.
I'm William. I'm a 16-year-old junior, and I play soccer and swim.
Wonderful. Hello, Claire.
Hi, I'm Claire. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Woodgrove High School, and
Academies of Loudoun. I'm really excited to be here.
We're really excited to have you. And Taylor, hi.
Hey, I'm Taylor. I'm a 17-year-old senior from Woodgrove. I spend my free time swimming, volunteering in my community, and working on my writing.
All right, beautiful. Here's your first question for Mix and Match. A Pakistan gentleman. Hidden in this phrase is what word used in geometry to refer to a line that touches a circle at only one point?
Tangent.
Yeah. Resentful, energetic, lethargic, enthralled. Which two of these words are antonyms?
Lethargic and energetic.
Correct. You'll get an A for effort if you can fill in these blanks to name what large fleet of ships that the Spanish sent against the English in 1588.
Armada.
Armada it is. Catskills, Ozarks, Adirondacks. Which of these mountain ranges is not located in New York?
Ozarks.
Ozarks is correct. When the music changes, so does the dance. This proverb comes from what African country where Tripoli is capital? Answer?
Kenya.
No, Libya. Nicely done, though, Woodgrove. 190 points. And now we get to talk to the folks from Parkview. Hello, Parkview. Parkview is in Sterling, Virginia, for those of you who don't know. Jasper, what should we know about you?
Hi, my name is Jasper. I'm a junior at Parkview High, and I enjoy playing ice hockey and reading outside of school.
Very nice. Hello, Colin.
Hello, I'm a senior here at Parkview as well as our captain. I enjoy golfing and playing tennis.
All right, and Zachary.
Hi, I'm a junior at Parkview, and I'm in the engineering program at AET.
Wonderful. Here we go, guys. Seoul National Day. Study this phrase carefully, and you'll find hidden within it the name of what bone of the arm?
Ulna?
Yeah, that's it. Insurgency, soliloquy, monologue, cataract. Which two of these words are synonyms?
Monologue and soliloquy. Monologue and soliloquy?
Yes. Please fill in these blanks to name what New Jersey city where a critical Revolutionary War battle took place on December 26th, 1776.
Trenton?
Battle of Trenton is right. Fort Knox, Fort Leavenworth, Fort Ticonderoga. You could visit which one of these historic forts on a trip to New York State?
Fort Knox?
No, Fort Ticonderoga up there near Lake Champlain. The mighty woman and keeper of the house. This mighty title was used in the 13th century by Queen Margaret. Of what country where Copenhagen is capital?
Denmark?
Denmark it is. Nice job, Parkview. 170 points. Don't go anywhere because we've got that picture perfect round coming up next. See you in a minute.
I'm David Rubenstein. From the Kennedy Center and the National Archives to the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, I've been pleased to support many important organizations and historic sites linked to American history, art, culture, education, and more. I believe giving back to our country isn't just an idea, it's an action, a patriotic action that involves all of us. And it begins with education and learning about our nation's past so that we, the people, can make a more perfect union for the future. We can do it together. Please read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
Now a question for you, our audience. Why are the names of racehorses limited to 18 letters? It's so the names will fit on a racing form. Bet you didn't know that. Now back to the game. All right, it's time for the Picture Perfect round. In this round, questions are worth 20 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. Here we go. Trees like these are a common sight in what Southern Florida National Park? Yes, Holton.
Everglades. Everglades?
Yeah. According to the title of this painting, this fountain adorned a villa named for what powerful Florentine family? Yes, Holton.
Medici?
Yeah. This lady was painted by what same Renaissance artist who painted the Mona Lisa? Yes, Parkview.
Da Vinci.
Correct. What is the y-intercept of the line given by this equation? Woodgrove.
-8.
Yeah, you got it. Vienna's Schönbrunn Palace was home to members of what Austrian dynasty? Yes, Holton.
Habsburg.
Yeah. 5 years of my life. These words title the memoirs of what French army captain who was imprisoned for 5 years on Devil's Island after having been wrongly convicted by a military court in 1895. The answer is Alfred Dreyfus. This is what 19th century Secretary of State who arranged for the purchase of Alaska. Holton. Answer?
Seward.
In 3. Seward it is. And that is the end of the round. Well done. Holton Arms, 330. Woodgrove, 210. Parkview, 190. So these students don't do it alone to be on It's Academic, but we think you know that. Let's meet the coaches who help them prepare for competition, and we begin with Holton Arms from Washington, D.C. Sophia, tell us about your coach.
Sure. We're joined today by our coaches, Ms. Gagne, our librarian and coach, Dr. Krug, our physics teacher and coach, and Ms. Siddiqui, our English teacher and coach, as well as our wonderful alternate Violet, and of course our friends and family.
Awesome. Woodgrove, Claire, tell us who's with you.
Mrs. Barrett, our physics teacher and our coach is here, and my parents.
And your parents, yay! Parkview, what do you have, Colin?
So today we're joined by our wonderful coach, Mrs. Dreyhaus, as well as our former team captain and friend, Izzy Wilson.
All right, thank you so much for being here, coaches and family. Now, of course, we start the packet round, which is fun. Holton, you get to answer questions first. Woodgrove, you get to choose which envelope they get the questions from. 1, 2, or 3. 3 it is. Questions in this round are worth 20 points. Nothing off for a wrong answer. If you get them all correct, do you know what it is? Come on, somebody.
Bonus.
Bonus, yeah, 25-point bonus. Awesome. Here's the first question. Holton. George Washington did not actually deliver his farewell address, but had it published in the American Daily Advertiser. In what Pennsylvania city, then the nation's capital?
Philadelphia.
Correct. When Muslims make a pilgrimage to Mecca, they're journeying to what country whose capital is Riyadh?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, here is your science question. Oxidation, sublimation, reduction. Which of these terms refers to a physical change rather than a chemical change?
Sublimation. Second choice?
You're right, sublimation it is. Rasputin was said to be able to alleviate what hereditary ailment of the Russian crown prince? A disease characterized by excessive bleeding.
Hemophilia.
Yeah, hemophilia. Your next question. A mob kills a Roman poet named Cinna in what Shakespeare play where the title character is killed by Brutus and Cassius?
Julius Caesar.
Yep, it's Julius Caesar. Here is your math question. Simplify this expression, taking positive roots and giving your answer as an integer.
1.
Yep, it's 1. In 1513, after a difficult trip across the Isthmus of Panama, what Spanish explorer became the first European to reach the Pacific Ocean?
Magellan.
No, it's Balboa. But you've done a great job, Holton Arms. 450 points. Okay, Woodgrove, it's your chance to play. Parkview, 1 or 2?
We'll give them number 2.
Number 2, said definitively. Woodgrove. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, but what other Peter picked up Michael, John, and Wendy on his way to Never Never Land?
Peter Pan.
We have some good writers, right? The reverse side of the Susan B. Anthony dollar depicts what historic 1969 space event?
Moon landing?
Yeah, it was the moon landing. Here's your science question. Cytosol, estrogen, insulin. Which of these is a substance produced by certain cells in the pancreas?
Insulin.
Yeah. Declaring that the right of property is expressly affirmed in the Constitution, the Supreme Court in 1857 denied what slave his freedom? The answer?
Douglas.
Nope, it's Dred Scott. The path of true love does not run smoothly for what fictional Anna, the tragic title character of a Tolstoy novel?
Anna Karenina.
Yeah, you've got it. Here's your math question. Perform the indicated operation, giving your answer as a positive integer.
7.
No, it's 6. Close. Liberator of 5 countries was one description of what 19th century Venezuelan-born leader who freed much of South America from Spanish rule.
Simon Bolivar.
Yeah, that's it. And now we have packet number 1 for the gentleman from Parkview. Guys, W.E.B. Du Bois was one of 29 leaders who met in 1905 to organize a civil rights movement named for what waterfalls on the New York-Canadian border?
Niagara?
Yeah. It was at a plantation named Mulberry Grove that Eli Whitney invented what device in 1792?
The cotton gin?
Correct. Science question. Transcription, virion, tropism. Which of these terms refers to the turning response of a plant to a stimulus?
Tropism?
Yes. Prior to statehood, Texans selected the Lone Star to symbolize their independence, but the short-lived California Republic emblazoned its flag with what ursine animal?
A bear?
Bear is right. After his masterpiece Moby Dick was panned by the critics, what author went to work as a customs inspector for $3.60 a day?
Melville?
Yeah, it was Melville. Here's your math question. Assuming x is not 0, what is the value of this expression?
1.
1's right. 8 years after he had murdered the Inca Emperor Atahualpa, what Spanish conquistador was himself assassinated in 1541?
Pizarro?
Yeah, it was Pizarro. Nicely done, Parkview. And you've got a 25-point bonus. Way to go, guys, with a score of 355 points. Great round. Love when we win a bonus. Don't go anyplace because we have the grab bag coming at you next.
Hello, I'm David Rubenstein. Did you know that the last U.S. president who had a beard or mustache while in office was William Howard Taft, more than a century ago? Now that facial hair is popular again, perhaps a whiskered president is in our future. I'm David Rubenstein, reminding you to read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
Time for an audience question. Handed a new pen, 97% of people will write what? The answer is 97% of people will write their own name. Would you? Back to the teams. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. The grab bag is kind of my favorite round. I really do love it because it tends to be kind of exciting. But I'm going to lift the curtain here at It's Academic for just a moment because, guys, oftentimes when we start, there's so much nervous energy. But by the time we hit the grab bag, like I was watching it, they're hanging out, they're talking about questions. You feel a little better now than you did at the beginning of the game, right? It's so helpful. All right, let's dive into this grab bag round, where questions are worth 20 points up or down. Here we go. It was almost a century after the French Revolution before France adopted July 14th as its national Holton Arms.
Bastille Day.
Answer.
Bastille Day.
Yep, Bastille is what we're looking for. Is that acceptable, Susan? Okay. When Ernest Hemingway was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1954, his most recent work had been what short novel about the fisherman Santiago? Holton.
Old Man in the Sea. Old Man in the Sea.
Yeah, well done. In recent years, many of the Rohingya people have been forced out of what Asian country whose largest?
China.
Holton.
China.
No, it's Myanmar. Check your monitors, please. Here you see what mythical Greek youth whose name was given to Jupiter's largest moon. Yes, Parkview.
Titan?
No, Ganymede. Known as the abolitionist poet, John Greenleaf Whittier, like William Penn, belonged to what Christian religious group known for? Woodgrove.
Quakers?
Yes, Quakers, very well done. Though Civil War General George Meade complained that Lincoln was an amateur, Lincoln had actually served in what war named for a Native American chief? Yes, Parkview.
Black Hawk War.
Yeah, you've got it. On your monitors. To a chemist, nothing on earth is unclean. This comment was made by what Russian playwright, the author of The Three Sisters and Uncle Vanya?
Chekhov.
Yes,
Chekhov.
Holton. Chekhov it is. Branch Rickey defied racial prejudice when he signed what African-American baseball player to the Dodgers roster Woodgrove.
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson, it is. What is 5% of 40? Parkview.
2.
2 is right. Because of its 300 miles of sandhills glowing with color, one Arizona desert has Holton Arms.
Painted Desert.
Painted Desert, the beautiful Painted Desert, on your monitors. The city of Samarkand is the site of Tamerlane's tomb in what country whose capital is Tashkent? Holton.
Tashkent is Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan is correct. May 31st is officially dedicated to what kind of colorful talking bird, such as Long John Silver's pet in the book? Holton.
Parrot.
Yeah, parrot is right. One Illinois survey chose as the state's all-time scientist. What immigrant Italian physicist who had created the first nuclear reactor? The answer is Enrico Fermi. After the Athenian court sentenced Socrates to death, the philosopher was forced to drink a cup of Holton. Hemlock, yes, not a good thing. How many degrees are there in pi radians? Woodgrove.
180.
You've got it. Geoffrey Crayon was one of the pen names used by what American author who wrote such colorful stories as Rip Van Winkle? Holton.
Irving.
Washington Irving is right, and that is the end of the game. Wonderful round. We're going to tabulate the scores and let you know the results in just a moment. Time for an audience question. What 19th century French novelist drank 50 cups of coffee a day? It was Honoré de Balzac. And my guess is, with all that caffeine, he never got any sleep. Luckily, our students don't need caffeine to stay so sharp.
I'm David Rubenstein, and I believe giving back is something we all can do. Many students are getting involved in their communities in important ways. I've asked them to share with us how they're making a difference.
Hi, I'm Dylan, and I'm a senior at Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. So the community that I've been serving in is coaching my elementary school and middle school's Quiz Bowl teams. So Quiz Bowl is like an academic competition similar to It's Academic. So every week, I'll hold online practices where I read questions to the students. And it always surprises me how much knowledge these students have in so many different subjects. And it's always great to see them grow and improve. And I remember when I first started out in Quiz Bowl, I was kind of unsure what to do. So I really love the opportunity to provide these kids with my expertise and give them a better experience than when I first started out in Quiz Bowl.
Like these students, you too can help improve the lives of so many people by volunteering in your town and community. Please read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
Okay, viewers, this question is for you. During World War II, bakeries in the U.S. were ordered to stop selling what food? The answer, sliced bread. Regular bread was okay, but the government banned sliced bread in hopes of saving people money. Instead, it made everybody mad, and the ban quickly ended. Food for thought. Now back to the teams. All right, that's how you do it on It's Academic. It was a really good competition. You guys feel good about that?
Yeah.
Right? It was wonderful. Let's talk about these scores because the judges have tabulated. We begin with Woodgrove High School from Purcellville, Virginia. William Claire Taylor, 370 points. Way to go, guys. From Parkview in Sterling, Virginia, Jasper Collins Zachary, 375 points. And you got the
bonus.
Yes, you got the 25-point bonus. Well done. Coming back for the playoffs, the women of Holton Arms, Caroline, Sophia, Claire, 590 points. You never took your finger off that buzzer. Way to go. Look forward to seeing you in the next challenge, in the next playoff, in the playoff. Okay, everybody, don't go away because we've got something else coming up in just a minute.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following. MITRE, a not-for-profit research and development company working in the public interest.
What happens when the right people connect? Diversity challenges convention. Mentors inspire greatness. and passions drive innovation. From health to transportation and national security, cyber and AI, to space and back, MITRE connects the power of government, academia, and industry to meet our nation's challenges. Together, MITRE connects.
All right, everybody. First of all, we want to thank these fine students. Let's hear it for them because they were awesome. And I would like to thank you, our wonderful viewers, for being here on It's Academic. I'm Hillary Howard. Can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.